This is one of the easiest problem of quantitative section of XAT 2013. Here it is given that Professor Mandal walks to market and comes back in an auto. It takes 90 minutes to make the round trip. If he take an auto both ways, it takes him 30 minutes. If he takes an auto both ways, it takes him 30 minutes, implies that to make one way he must take half of this amount of time. So to reach market from his place he takes 15 minutes by auto, and he takes total of 90 minutes when he walks to market and comes back by auto. It means he takes 90 minus 15 minutes to walk to market. And here it is asking, on a Sunday he decides to walk both ways, how long would it take him? As we know that to walk to market from his place he takes 75 minutes, so to make round trip or to walk to market and comes back to home, it will take twice of 75, which is 150 minute, and this is given in option D. In this problem it is given that a fish is released at one of the edges of a circular pool, and it swims north for 300 feet before it hits the edge. If it is released at point A, it hits the edge, let's say at point B, after walking for 300 feet, and then turns east and swims for 400 feet before hitting the edge again. So figure would look like as it is shown here. Sees the point when fish hits edge after walking 4 meters in east direction. Therefore angle B is 90 degree, and when we join AC we'll get the diameter of circle, and from here AC will be square root of AB square plus BC square. This is 300 square plus 400 square and square root of this. So from AC comes out to be 500 feet. What is the area of pool? We have to find the area of pool. For that we need radius of the pool, which will be half of 500, that is 250 feet, and area of the pool, which is in circular shape, will be pi r square, pi into 250 square. It will be equal to 62500 pi square feet. Therefore option A is the correct answer. This is a problem of simple interest and is quite easy. Here we have Mr. Mehra is planning for higher education expenses of his two sons, aged 12 and 15. He plans to divide 15 lakhs in two equal parts. That is, he wants to invest 7.5 lakhs for each of his two sons and invest in two different plans such that his sons may receive rupees 21 lakhs each when they reach the age of 21. He is looking for plans that will give him a simple interest per annum. The rates of interest of the plan for his younger son and that for his older son should be, so the amount that is invested for younger son is 7.5 and it is for the period 21 minus 12, which is 9. So in case rate of interest is 8%, then the interest that we need should be 7.5 into rate of interest, that is A in this case, into 9 upon 100, and it has to be equal to 21 minus 7.5. From here we get A as 20%. Proceeding in the similar manner, we'll get the required rate of interest for older son as 30%. Therefore, option E is the correct answer. As per the given information, Albela, Bob, and Chulbul have to read 78 pages collectively. The time taken by Albela to read a page is 2 minutes, and that by Bob is 3 minutes, and that by Chulbul is 4 minutes. And we have to divide the number of pages in among three of them in such a way that the assignment is completed at the same time, or each of them spends same amount of time for reading the number of pages that they have got. If Chulbul reads X page in a given time, then in the same time Alvela will read 2x pages, as he is twice as fast as Chulbul, and the remaining number of pages will be read by Bob. It will be 78 minus thrice of x, and we know that the time taken by Bob to read 78 minus 3x pages, which is 78 minus 3x into 3, will be equal to the time taken by Chulbul to read x pages, which is x into 4. From here we get x equals 24, x equals 18. So the number of pages read by Bob will be 78 minus 3 into 18, which is 24. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. The structure of taxis fare in Wasipur is, as per the given problem, is rupees 20 for first 2 km, and the distance travelled in excess of 2 km till 10 km is charged at a rate of 5 rupees per kilometer, and the distance travelled in excess of 10 km is charged at a rate of 8 8 per kilometer, and that of the charge of bullock cart on the other hand is given as rupees 2 per kilometer. Sardar Khan, who travels from railway station to his home first 14 kilometers through taxi and the rest of the distance by bullock cart and pays a total of 102 rupees, and we have to find the distance between his home and railway station. So the total taxi fare for 14 kilometers will be rupees 20 for first 2 kilometers, and for next 8 kilometers, that is from 2 to 10, will be 8 into 5, and the rest of the 4 kilometer charged at a rate of 8 kilometer. So the total fare that is there through taxi is 20 plus 8 into 5 plus 5 4 into 8, and he paid the rest of amount to bullock cart. And if total distance is x, then the distance that he traveled through bullock cart is x minus 14, and for this distance he pays at a rate of 2 kilometer, and the total fare through two mediums is 102. From here we get x as 19 kilometer. So the distance between the home of Sardar Khan and the railway station is 19 kilometer. We have to find the minimum possible value of the expression a square plus a plus 1 into b square plus b plus 1 and so on till e square plus e plus 1 upon a, b, c, d and e, where a, b, c are positive numbers. Given expression can be rewritten as a square plus a plus 1 upon a into b square plus b plus 1 upon b into c square plus c plus 1 upon c into d square plus d plus 1 upon d into e square plus e plus 1 upon e. Now we have to find the minimum value of each of the 5 terms in the expression and then substitute their values in order to find the minimum value of the expression. A square plus a plus 1 by a can be written as a plus 1 by a plus 1. We know that the value of a plus 1 by a, where a is a positive real number, is always greater or equal to 2. So from here we can deduce that the value of a square plus a plus 1 upon a will always be greater or equal to 3. Therefore the minimum value of this quantity will be 3. Similarly the minimum value of other 4 terms in the given expression will be 3. Therefore, the minimum value of expression will be 3 into 3 into 3 into 3 into 3. This is 3 raised to power 5. This is 243. Therefore, option E is the correct answer. The mean of 6 positive integers is 15, which means if A, B, C, D and E, F are 6 integers, their sum is 90. The median is 18. As we have 6 terms, the median will be the average of 2 middlemost term. As we know that median is the middlemost term of a sequence. And it is also given that the only mode of the integers is less than 18. And we have to find the maximum possible value of the largest of the 6 integers. If we consider 6 integers by these 6 arrows, then the average of 2 middlemost integers is 18, and we know that mode is less than 18, so neither of these two terms should be considered as a mode, because we have to maximize the value of the highest term. So these two terms should be considered for the mode, and we know that average of two integers in this case is 18, as mode is 18. So cases could be like 17, 19, 16, 20 and so on. However, here we have to maximize the value of the largest term. So we need to minimize the value of second largest term, and which is only possible if we take the two middlemost term as 17 and 19. In that case, we would be able to assign the minimum possible value to the second largest term, and in this case it will be 20. And in order to minimize the value of rest of the terms, we should assign them the value of 1, as there is only one mode. It means there are at least two terms that have the same value out of these six terms. So the only mode in this case can be considered as 1 in order to maximize the value of the largest term. So these are the five terms that we need to take in order to maximize the value of the largest term. Here largest term will come as 90 minus sum of these five terms, 1 plus 1 plus 17 plus 19 plus 20, and this is equal to 32. So the largest value that the largest term in this case can be is 32. Hence option D is the correct answer. In the given problem, it is given that Ramesh bought a total of 6 fruits, apples and oranges from the market. He found that he requires one orange less to extract the same quantity of juice as extracted from apples. To conclude the given finding of Ramesh, we have to find the number of apples that he would have bought. The given conclusion is possible only if he bought either 2 or 3 apples. Had he bought 4 or more apples, he would not have been able to conclude whatever he concluded after buying these 6 fruits. Now it is asking, if Ramesh had used the same number of apples and oranges to make the blend, then which of the following correctly represents the percentage of apple juice in the blend? Case first, when he bought 2 apple and 4 oranges, then as per the given information, juice obtained from 2 apples was equal to juice obtained from 1 orange. Therefore juice obtained from 2 apples will be equal to juice obtained from 1 apple. Therefore the required percentage in this case will be x upon x plus twice of x into 100 versus 33.33%. In case second of 3 apples, the juice obtained by 3 apples will have to be equal to juice obtained from 2 oranges. In that case, the required percentage will be x upon x plus x into 3 by 2 into 100, which is 40%. If we look at the options, we can use that there should have been a unique answer for this question. However, this is not the case as we are getting two different figures. One is 33.33% and second one is 40%. But the first figure is given in option. So this option has to be the correct answer. Sarah has 5 friends and each of her 5 friends has 25 friends, and it is also known that at least two of her friends are connected with each other. Then we have to find the number of friends that Sarah can invite on her birthday, including her friends of friends. So each of Sarah's friends has 25 friends, including Sarah's, but if we exclude Sarah's, then each of her friends has 24 friends, and 5 plus 24 into 5 could have been the maximum possible number of friends. But here it is given that at least two of Sarah's friends are connected to each other. In that case, there'll be common friends, and in that case total number of friends that can be maximum will be 24 into 3 plus 23 into 3, it is equal to 123. So the maximum number of friends that Sarah can invite on her birthday, including friends of her friends, cannot be more than 123. In order to find the minimum number of friends, proceeding in same fashion as we did for getting at least two friends who were connected to each other, the number of minimum friends that Sarah could have, including her friends of friends, will be less than 100, and none of the options would then come to be true. So the only option that satisfies the given figure is option B. We know that 70% of students in XAT play football, 75% play cricket, 80% play basketball, and 85% play carom. And we have to minimize the number of students who play all the four games. Let the number of students who play none of the game be X, exactly one game be Y, exactly two game be Z, exactly three games be A, and all the four games be B, and it has to be equal to 100%. Now, if we number of instances for 0 will be X only, for exactly one games will be Y only, for exactly two games 2Z, as everything is counted two times, and for three games 3A, and for all the four games 4B, it will be equal to sum of the given 4 percentage points, and it comes out to be 110%. As we want to minimize the number of players who play exactly 4 games, that means we have to minimize the value of B, and in order to minimize the value of B, we have to maximize the value of A. And if A is to be maximized, then rest of the quantities, that is X, Y and Z, has to be 0. From here we get A plus B equals 100%, and 3A plus 4B as 310%. From here we get A equals 90% and B equals 10%. So the minimum percentage of students who have to play all the 4 games is 10%. Therefore option B is the correct answer. This is quite simple problem. Here we just have to deal with two equations where P and Q are positive integers. In first equation it is given that P raised to power Q equals Q raised to power P, and second one is Q equals 9P. The value of P, we have to find basically the value of P with the help of these two equations. From equation first we can find the value of Q or P in term of other variable. The value of Q in term of P is P raised to power Q upon P. Now substitute this value in the second equation. After this we get P raised to power Q upon P equals 9P. From where we get P raised to power 9 equals 9P, as Q by P is equal to 9. This can be written as P raised to power Q minus 9P, which in turn can be written as P into P raised to power 8 minus 9 equals 0. Either P can be 0 or P raised to power 8 equals 9, but P cannot be 0 as P and Q are positive integers, or rather positive real numbers. So P raised to power 8 will be equal to 9, and from here we get P equals 8th root of 9, which is option D. Ram, Sam and Hari went out for a 100-kilometer journey. Ram and Hari started the journey in Ram's car at a rate of 25 km per hour. Ram and Sam start their journey in Ram's car at 25 km per hour, while Sam walked at 5 km per hour. Sam walks at a rate of 5 km per hour. Here S is starting point. After some time, Hari got off and started walking at the rate of 5 km per hour. Here G is the point at which Hari got off and starts walking, and at the same time Ram went back to pick up Syam, and P is the point where Ram picks up Syam, and finally all of them reach to the final point, that is F, simultaneously. The number of hours required for the trip was, we have to find the number of hours required for the trip. Here x is the distance between the starting point and the point at which Ram picks up Syam, and y is the distance between the point at which Ram picks up Syam and Hari gets off from Ram's car, and z is the distance that Hari travels by walking to reach the destination. So from here we can say that the time taken by Syam to travel the distance of x will be equal to the time taken by Ram to travel from S to Z and comes back to P. It will be x plus 2y upon 25. From here we get x equals y by 2 or y equals 2x. Similarly, the time taken by Hari to walk a distance of z kilometer has to be the time has to be equal to the time taken by Ram to travel from G to P and then from P to F. So the total distance traveled by Ram after he drops Hari at point Z is x z plus 2y upon 25. From here we get y equals 2z. As the total distance is 100 km, from here we get the ratio of x, y and z as 1 is to 2 is to 1, and x will be 25 equals to z and y will be 50. So the required time for the entire trip will be the total distance traveled by Ram and the time taken by him to travel this distance. The required time will be the total distance traveled by Ram and the speed of his car. It will be x plus y plus 2y plus z upon 25. Here x is 25 and 3y 3 into 50 plus 25 upon 25, it is equal to 8 hours. So the total time taken by the three to complete the trip is 8 hours. As per the given information, the figure would look like as shown on the slide. Here the length of park is 40 meters and its breadth is 30 meters, and there are two roads which are perpendicular to each other such that the triangle formed by intersection of these roads has the same diagonal, that is the diagonal of the park, and it is also known that the area of roads or area covered by roads is equal to the area of leftover part in the central park. So if breadth of these two roads is d, then the total area of these two roads will be 30 into d. This is area of this part or vertical road plus area of horizontal road 40 into d. And in this course we have counted area of this portion, that is intersection portion, twice, So we need to exclude it once. It will be d into d, and this is equal to half of the area of Central Park, that is 1 by 2 into 30 into 40. From here we get d square minus 70d plus 600 at 0, and on factorization we get d minus 60 into d minus 10 as equals 0. From here we get d either as 10 or 60, but 60 is not possible as the length as well as breadth of the park is less than 60, so the value of d will be 10 meters. Hence breadth of or width of these two roads is 10 meter, which is option A. Here we have a square PQRS. A and B are points on PS and SR respectively, such that PA is twice of AS, which means this is half of AS is half of PA. Similarly, SB is half of BR. It is also given that PQ is 6 unit. So if PQ is 6 unit, PS and S are also be 6 unit, as we have a square. From here we get PA as 4 units and AS as 2 units. Similarly, SR as 2 units and BR as 4 units. And we have to find the area of ABQ. So we need to join AQ and QB and then AB. From the figure it is very obvious that if we exclude the area of triangle PQA, QRB and ASB from the area of square, we'll get the required area. And computing the area of these triangles is quite easy, as these are right angle triangles and we know values of perpendicular sides in each case. So the required area will be 36, that is area of square, minus area of triangle PQA, which will be 1 by 2 4 into 6, plus area of QBR, that will be equal to PQA only, 1 by 2 into 4 into 6, plus area of ASB, it will be 1 by 2 into 2 into 2, and this comes out to be 10. So the required area is 10 square unit, which is option C. In this problem we have to find all the numbers between 100 and 800 that contain digit 2. There are two ways to answer this problem. First one is to find all the numbers that contain 2 in the given range, and these numbers would contain either 1 2 or 2 2s or 3 2s. And the second way is to find all the numbers in the given range that can easily be found as 799 minus 100. This comes out to be 699, and we need to subtract all those numbers from this number that do not contain 2 in the given range. So from here it is quite obvious that in first case we have to consider three cases. In second case, we have to consider only two cases. First one is to finding the total number of numbers in the given range, and second thing, find the number of three digit numbers in the given range that do not contain two. And in this case, the total number of ways in which 100 place can be filled is 6, as we cannot consider 2, 8 and 9 for unit place, and for the rest two places the number of digits that can be considered will be 9 each, as 2 cannot be used on these places as well. So the total number of numbers that do not contain 2 in the given range will be 6 into 9 into 9 minus 1, as we do not need to consider 100. This figure comes out to be 485. Therefore the required number of numbers will be 699 minus 485. This is equal to 214, which is option B. Here we have three non-negative integers such that their sum is 10, and we have to find the maximum value of PQ plus QR plus PR plus PQR. We know that when the sum of two or more numbers is given, where numbers are positive numbers, then their product gets maximized when the numbers are equal. If not possible, should be as symmetric or as close as possible. So here sum of three numbers is 10, so it's not possible to have all the numbers equal. So we have to get numbers as symmetric as possible. In that case, any of these two numbers have to be 3 and the third number 4, and order is immaterial here, as we have to find the value of a symmetric expression. So the maximum value of the given expression will be 3 into 3 plus 3 into 4 plus 3 into 4 plus 3 into 3 into 4. This is 69. So the maximum value of this expression is 69, which lies in the range of greater or equal to 60 and less than 70. Therefore option C is the correct answer. A number is interesting number if on adding the sum of the digits of the number and the product of the digits of number is equal to the number. So if we have a number AB, which can be written as 10A plus B, and A cannot be 0 in this case because AB is a two-digit number. As per the given condition, a number to be interesting, 10A plus B will have to be equal to A plus B plus A into B, that is product of the digits of number. And we have to find what fraction of numbers between 10 and 100 including both is interesting. So as per the given condition, we will get 9A minus AB equals 0. From here A into 9 minus B equals 0. Either A has to be 0 or 9 minus B has to be 0, or both have to be 0. But A cannot be 0, as we have already discussed. For number to be a two-digit number, A has to be non-zero digit. It means 9 minus b has to be 0. From here we get b equals 9. So our numbers in the given range will be of the form a 9, where a can assume any value from 1 to 9. So the total number of numbers in the given range that would be interesting number is 9, and we have to find 9 is what fraction of the total number of numbers in the range of 10 to 100 including both. There are 91 numbers from 10 to 100, so the required fraction will be 9 into 9, 9 upon 91, which is equal to 0.0989. Therefore, option E is the correct answer, which is none of these. This figure is not present in any other option. As per the given information, the maximum number of days for which Arun can stay in country of 10 is 10, and his priorities are to first complete as many tasks as possible, and after that take care of priority of task, and his last priority is to go back as soon as possible. So for the given options we can check two things. First one is the number of days taken to complete the task, and second thing, sum of priorities. So for first option we get the number of days for completing the task T1 and T2 as 3 plus 5, 8, and the priority are for these two tasks 1 and 2, so the sum of priorities will be 3. And similarly we can calculate these two figures for other four options, and these figures are 10 and 7 for 10 and 7 for option B, 8 and 9, 9 and 8 for option C, 12 and 6 for option D, and 10 and 9 for option E. On the basis of these figures, it can be seen that the three tasks that he should try to complete are T1, T2 and T5 that are given in option B. As he is more concerned about the priority than that of going home. So if we look at option C and option B, we find the total number of days taken to complete the three tasks given in option C is lesser than the number of days taken to complete the three tasks in option B, but the sum of priorities in option B is lesser than that in option C, and as his last priority is to go back, so here he should try to finish the three tasks that are given in option B. Coming to the next question, here he has got instruction from his superiors to do some background work on the task that he is supposed to do in the country 10, but he is not sure whether he would get permit or not. So his priorities remain the same as they were for the previous questions, like completing as many tasks as possible, and second priority is to give preference to priorities, and third is to go back as soon as possible within 10 days. So again we need to compute the three things, rather two that we did in previous question. For this question, first one is sum of priorities, second one is number of days required to complete the task, and third is number of days required for background work. And these figures for option A is A 11 and 10, for option B are 7, 10, 11, for option C 6, 12, 10, for option D 9, 10, 7, and for the last option these figures are 8, 9 and 8. After having a look at these figures, it becomes apparently clear that he should try to finish the task given in option E. As for completing these three tasks, he requires the minimum number of days, that is 9, and priority is also quite good in this case compared to other options. Option C is not possible as the number of days required to complete the task is more than 10, which has a better priority order. So E is the correct answer for this question. The radius of a circle with center O is 50 centimeter. The circle shown is the circle with center O and radius OA as root 50. A and C are 2 points on the circle. A and C are the 2 points on the circle. B is a point inside the circle. This is the position of B. The length of AB is 6 centimeter. 6 centimeter, and BC is 2 centimeter. The angle ABC is right angle, which means this is right angle. Find the square of the distance OB. We have to find OB square. Now let B equals X and BZ equals Y. Now by using intersecting chord theorem, we get AB into BE equals GB into BC. AB is 6 centimeter and BE is X, GB is Y, and BC is 2. From here we get Y equals thrice of X. In order to compute OB square, we have to calculate OD and BD. OD is equal to BZ minus ZF, and ZF is nothing but GC by 2. BZ is equal to Y, that we have got as thrice of X, minus GC, it will be thrice of X plus 2 by 2. This comes out to be thrice of X minus 2 upon 2, and AD will be equals to half of AE by 2, and AE is 6 plus x by 2. Now using Pythagoras theorem in triangle AOD, we get OA square equals OD square plus AD square. OA square will be 50 as OA is root 50, and OD square will be thrice of x minus 2 upon 2 whole square plus AD square 6 plus x by 2 whole square. From here we get x as 4. Therefore OD will be equal to 5, and AD will also be equal to 5. From here we get BD as 1. Therefore OB square will be BD square, which is 1 square, plus OD square, which is 5 square. Therefore OB square will be equal to 26 centimeter. Hence option A is the correct answer. This is the problem of probability in which it is given that 6 playing cards are lying face down on a table. 2 of them are kings. 2 cards are drawn at random. Let A denote the probability that at least one of the cards drawn is a king, and B denotes the probability of not drawing a king. The ratio of A's to B is. So first of all we have to find the value of A and then B and then the given ratio. Here A is the probability of drawing at least one card of king. So at least one means either we have to draw exactly one card of king or exactly two cards of king. So there are two ways to find the number of ways in which the drawn card is a set of cards that contains at least one king, either by finding the number of ways in which exactly one king can be drawn and then exactly two king can be drawn, and finally adding them, or we can subtract the probability of finding no king card from 1, then we'll get the required probability of getting at least one card. So it's better to go by latter method, in which we will subtract the probability of not finding even a single king card from 1. So if the drawn cards are not of king, then there'll have to be cards out of the 4 that are not of king. So 4c2 upon the total number of ways in which two cards can be drawn. This is 6c2 and this is 3 by 5, and B is the probability of not drawing king that we have already computed as 4c2 upon 6c2. So value of B is 4c2 upon 6c2. This is 2 by 5. Therefore the value of A by B is 3 by 2. This is 1.5. Out of the given options, 1.5 lies in the fifth option, that is greater than 1.25. We have x in base b as x cube. This can be written as b square x plus bx plus x equals x cube. As x cannot be 0, therefore we get b square plus b plus 1 equals x square. As x and b both are positive integers, from here we get x greater or equal to b, but which is not possible as in any base the digit cannot assume value greater or equal to b. In fact, it has to be less than b, so it is not possible. Therefore, given number does not exist. Hence, E is the correct answer. Here function fx is given as x raised to power 4 plus x raised to power 3 plus x raised to power 2 plus x plus 1, where x is a positive integer greater than 1. What will be the remainder when fx raised to power 5 is divided by f of x? There are two methods to solve this problem. First one by substitution, as it is given that x is a positive integer greater than 1. So this condition, or when we divide f raised to power 5 for x equals 2, the remainder should be same irrespective of whatever we other values take for x. So through first method we need to take x equals 2, though it is not difficult to check it for other values of 2, other values of x, but 2 is a smaller value, so it would be easier to find the remainder. Here f x raised to power 5 will be f x raised to power 4 to raised to power 5 plus x raised to power 3 to raised to power 5 plus x square to raised to power 5 plus x raised to power 5 plus 1. This can be written as x raised to power 20 plus x raised to power 15 plus x raised to power 10 plus x raised to power 5 plus 1. Now we have to divide this quantity by f of x, which is x raised to power 4 plus x cube plus x square plus x plus 1. When we substitute x equals to, we get f of x as 31 and f of x raised to power 5 will be 2 raised to power 20 plus 2 raised to power 15 plus 2 raised to power 10 plus 2 raised to power 5 plus 1. And when we divide f of x raised to power 5 by f of x, we need to divide each of these terms by 31, and when we divide 2 raised to power 20 by 31, remainder will be 1, and this can be checked, like 2 raised to power 20 can be written as 2 raised to power 5 raised to power 4, and 2 raised to power 5 can be written as 30 plus 1 raised to power 4, and when we divide 31 plus 1 raised to power 4, remainder is 1. Similarly, in other terms, like when 2 raised to power 15 is divided by 31, remainder will again be 1, and same will be the case for next two terms. And when 1 is divided by 31, remainder is 1, so the required remainder is 5. This is through substitution method, and in the exam this is the method that we should opt instead of going for complex method, in which f x can be written as x raised to power 5 minus 1 upon x minus 1, and similarly we'll find value of x raised to power 5, in which, like here we have this expression, x raised to power 20 minus 1 will add and subtract minus 1 for each of the term that contains x. So it can be written as like this: x raised to power 20 minus 1, x raised to power 15 minus 1, plus x raised to power 10 minus 1, plus x raised to power 5 minus 1, plus 5 1, and we have subtracted 4 in course of subtracting 1 from each of the terms that contain x, so we need to add 4. So effectively we have 5. When each of these terms except 5 divided by x raised to power 5 minus 1 upon x minus 1, remainder will be 0. So the effective remainder from here will get as 5. So the 5 is the required remainder. Therefore option C is the correct answer. In the country of 4, there are 4 cities: A, B, C and D. B is to the east of A, C is to the south of B, and D is to the west of C, and A is to the north of D, as it is shown in the figure. The government of 4 is planning to connect these 4 cities by roads such that it is possible for a person to go from a city to any of the other 3 cities. At the same time, the government wants to ensure that the total length of the roads is minimum. It is also known that the distances between AB, BC, CD and DA are all equal to 10 km. What should be the total length of the road? Here we have to minimize the length of road, and this is a very difficult problem given that it is not easy to devise the mechanism while taking exam to solve this problem. It is a famous case of motorway problem. It is a sort of puzzle, and the length of routes will be minimum only when the routes are constructed in such a manner as shown in the diagram. PS is parallel to AB, and it is the line which bisects AD and BC, and these are the routes AQ, QD, QR, RB and RC. As it is given that AB or AD is 10, so from here we'll get AP as 5 units, and angle PQA is 60. This is for minimizing the length of road. So from here we can find the length of AQ. It will be 10 upon root 3. Similarly, we can find the length of AQ. It will be 5 upon root 3. So the required length is AQ plus DQ plus QR plus RB plus RC. AQ is equal to 10 upon root 3. DQ is also 10 upon root 3 plus QR. It is 10 minus twice of PQ, which is 5 root 3. RB is again 10 root 3. RC is also 10 root 3. This comes out to be 10 plus 1, 10 into 1 plus root 3, which is approximately equal to 27.3, and therefore option B is the correct answer. In this problem, we have to check how many of the given three statements are true. First statement states 103 and 7 are the only prime factors of 1 4 times 0 27. On checking, we find that the given number can be written as 7 into 19 into 73 into 103. So instead of 103 and 7, it has 4 prime factors, and these are 7, 19, 73 and 103. So this statement is not true. Coming to second statement, it states 6th root of factorial 6 is greater than 7th root of factorial 7. Given inequality can be written as factorial 6 raised to power 7 greater than factorial 7 raised to power 6. This further can be simplified as factorial 6 raised to power 6 into 6 greater than factorial 6 raised to power 6 into 7 raised to power 6. From here we get 6 greater than 7 raised to power 6, which is impossible. Therefore, second statement is also incorrect. Come to the last statement. If I travel one half of my journey at an average speed of x km per hour, it will be impossible for me to attain an average speed of 2 km per hour for the entire journey if the length of journey is twice of x and I travel first half of the distance at an average speed of x km per hour. So to cover x km, I'll take 1 hour, and if I want to attain an average speed of twice of x, then the total time travel to 2x at this speed will be 1 hour, and which is not possible as we have already taken 1 hour, so we can't travel the rest of the distance in no time. Therefore, only statement 3 is correct, and option C validates this thing. Therefore, C is the correct answer. The graph given below, which is shown on the next slide, shows the graph of function f of x. How many solution does the equation f of x equals 15 have? So we have to find those points at which f of x is 15, and from the graph it can be seen that the point at which value of function is 15 are 4 and 12. It means f of x and f of this is nothing but f4 and f15, and eventually we have to find the number of solution for f4 and f15, and from the graph it can be seen that the points on x-axis at which the value of f of x is 4 are -8, 1, 7.5 and 10. These are the 4 points on x-axis for which the value of f of x is 4, and similarly we have to find the value of x for which f of x is 12, and these points are 3, 5, 11, So there are 7 different values at which f of x is equal to 15. So the number of solution is 7, which is option C. Chart of railway timetable shows the time taken by 11 different trains from A, AA to NNN. Like we can check the time taken by 111 from AA to NNN, and it starts from AAA around 6 am and reaches to triple N around 10:30 am. So similarly, we can check the time taken by any of the trains from any of the given station to the other stations. And one thing also needs to be noted here: train, like each of the given trains does not stop at all the stations given in the diagram. Like if we take example of 4 times 8, it does not stop at 3 times I, 3 times A, 3 times K. These are the stations where 4 times A does not stop. Similarly, we can check for other trains at what station they stop and at what they don't. So that's all about the diagram. Now coming to the questions. In first question, it is asking which is the fastest train between triple S and triple N. In order to identify the fastest train, we have to find the train that takes minimum amount of time to travel from triple N, from triple S to triple N. On observation, we find that 777, which is last in the diagram, takes the minimum amount of time to travel from triple S to triple N, and the time taken is slightly lesser than 2 hours, and all the other trains given in the option takes more than 2 hours. Therefore, the fastest train between triple N and triple H is 4 times 7. Therefore, option D is the correct answer. In the next question, it is asking the fastest train between triple A and triple N. Again, we need to do the same thing. That is, we need to observe the time taken by the trains given in the options, and on observation, we again see that the time taken by 8800 is the least among the trains that are given in 5 options, and it is slightly lesser than 3 hours. It starts from triple A at 4 p.m. and reaches to triple N before 7 p.m. So the time taken is slightly lesser than 3 hours, but all the other trains take more than 3 hours from triple A to triple N. Therefore, option A is the correct answer. In the last problem of this set, it is given that if you have to travel from triple A and reach at triple H at around 9 am and then further travel to Triple N at around 6 pm, which is the best combination of trains view. Again, from the graph, it can be noted that the train that reaches to Triple S around 9 am are 4 times 1 and 4 times 8. Out of these two trains, 4 times 8 reaches to Triple H at 8:15 am, whereas Triple One reaches to the same station after 10 am. Therefore, from here we need to pick the Triple Eight for traveling from Triple A to Triple H if we want to reach around 9 am. Now coming to trains that travel from Triple N to Triple H, the Triple N that travels from Triple S to Triple N around 6 pm are 8800 and 9900. But out of these two trains, 8800 does not stop at HHH. Therefore, the only possible train that one can take from Triple S to Triple N is 9900 when he wants to reach around 6 pm. Therefore, the best suited option or combination of train is 4 times 8 and 9900, and these two are given in option E, hence E is the correct answer. In the football league of a country, there are 20 teams and each team plays 2 matches against each of the other teams, and rule of the games are as given in 3 points. Each team plays all the other teams twice, once in its home ground and once in its opponent's home ground. These matches are known as home matches and away matches respectively. So each team plays exactly 2 matches against each of the other teams, and one match is played at the home ground and another one at the home ground of opponents. The game which is played at home ground is known as home match, and the game which is played at opponent's ground is known as away match. And second rule is a win results in 3 points, a draw in 1, and a loss in 0 points for team. The number of goals a team scores is termed as goal for, that is, the goal done by a team against its opponent is known as goal for, and the number of goals it concedes is termed as goals against, that is, the goal done by opponents against a team is known as goals against for the team. We get the goal difference by subtracting goals against from goals for, which means goal difference can be negative as well as positive. It depends on the number of goal for and number of goals against. If goal for is more than goal against, then this difference will be positive, otherwise it will be negative. The ranking of the teams is decided on the total points. If that is the teams, that is a team with a higher number of goals will be ranked higher. If two teams are tied on their total points, the team which has higher goal difference gets the higher rank. In case if there are 2 or more points and more teams that have the same number of points, then the team with better goal difference will get a higher rank. Even if tie pushes after considering goal difference, then goal far is checked by, and then even if persists after that, goal against is checked. Even after these mechanism are arrangement, tie persists, the team are ranked in ascending order of their names. Table 1 provides data on the current top 13 teams based on overall situation by taking into account both home matches and away matches of the team, which is shown in table 1. Like CS has played 3 matches so far and it has won 2 matches and drawn 0. Goal far is 8. This is what first table reflects. Table 2 provides data on the current top 13 teams based on home matches only. Like WB has played 2 home matches so far and it has won both the matches and has scored 5 goals against its opponent. Chart 1 provides a plot of goal difference of each of the 13 teams based on the overall situation. The chart provides goal difference for the top 13 teams based on overall situation. Like goal difference for AS is 2, which means AS has scored the number of goals against its team is less than to the number of goals against by its opponent against it. And one more thing should be noted here is it is not necessary that top 13 teams based on overall situation would be the same top 13 team based on home matches played. As on observation, we find WZ and SU are not the teams that fall into top 13 teams based on home performance. On the basis of these two tables and chart, we can find all info for away matches. For CS, it is 1, that is CS has played 1 match away and it has won that match, therefore draw is 0. Goal for is 2, that is in that match CS scored 2 goals. Goal against is 0, it means it did not concede any goal. So point of course would be 3 and its rank is 3 on the basis of goal, on the basis of points scored. Similarly, we can calculate the same data for all the other teams except WV and SU, as we do not have any information about the home matches of these two teams. Now coming to the question, in first question it is asking, considering away matches only, which of the following teams is second ranking team? From the table it can be seen that the second ranked team is SW. Therefore option D is the correct answer. Now coming to the next question. Considering away matches only, the least number of teams with either 0 or 1 points is, as we have no info about the home matches of WZ and SU, so these are the two teams for which we have to figure out what could be the points for these two teams in away matches. As it can be noted from the second table, the team which is at 13th place drew at least one match or exactly one match. It means the last team in the second table scored at least 1 points, and if WZ and SU are not part of the top 13 teams, it means they must have scored less than or equal to 1 points in home matches. Therefore, the points scored by WZ in away matches could be either 3 or 4. This can be seen from the first table, as WZ played 3 matches, won 1 and drew 1. It means the maximum point that it could have scored in away matches is 4 and the minimum is 3. So the point that WZ could have scored in away matches is either 3 or 4. Similarly, we can compute the same figure for SU. It comes out to be 1 or 2. So from here it is clear that SU scored 1 or 0, 1 or 2 points. Now from the table it can be seen that the least number of teams with either 0 or 1 points is 5. As for the sake of minimizing the number of teams with scores 0 and 1, we should exclude SU from this group. So the teams with either 0 or 1 points are WB, MC, WH, NC and FU. So there are at least 5 teams that scored either 0 or 1 points in away matches. Hence D is the correct answer. In next problem, POS is difference between home rank and away rank. Which of the following has the maximum value of POS? So let's compute value of POS for each of the 5 teams given in the options, and from the table the difference for AS comes out to be 12 minus 1, that is 11. Similarly, the difference for WB is 1, WS is 8, MC is 3 and SW is 3. Hence the maximum value of pause is for AS, which is option A. Now coming to the last question of this set, it is asking how many unique values of goal difference are there for away matches. One thing should be noted here, we don't have any data for away matches of two teams that fall in top 13 teams, and these teams are WZ and SU. So it is not possible for us to determine this question if these two teams are also included. However, this question can be answered if we consider the data of the 13 teams for which we have calculated all info in away matches, and if we consider these 5 teams, the different possible difference is 2, 5, 0, minus 3, minus 2 and minus 4. These figures can be checked through the table that we have drawn for away matches. So the answer of this question is B. If we consider data of given only for those teams for which we have found the data. Given below are a few data points on the Indian economy from 2005 to 2010. We can check the given indicators in the table like GDP at current price in 2005 was 35,662.2 billion rupees and GDP per capita current prices in 2005 was 128.1 rupees, and it is also known that per capita GDP is arrived at by dividing GDP by population. Similarly, we can check other indicators like unemployment rate. In 2006 it was 8.9, and current account balance percentage of GDP in 2010 is minus 3.268. So it is quite easy to understand table and the figures given in it. In the first question of the set, it is asking what is the ratio of the current account balance in 2010 to the current account balance in 2005. So first of all, we have got to calculate current account balance in 2010, which is minus 3.268% of GDP. So current account balance in 2010 will be GDP, which is 73,555.34 billion into minus 3.268 upon 100. It comes out to be minus 24,003.8, and the same thing in 2005 is GDP in 2005, which is 35,662.2 into current account balance percentage of GDP, which is minus 1.272 upon 100. It comes out to be minus 453.6. So the required ratio will be minus 2403.8 upon minus 453.6. This is approximately equal to 5.3, which is option E. In next question, three statements are given and we have to find how many of these statements are necessarily true. Coming to the first statement, it is stating exports were more than imports in 2006. From the given figure, it can be seen that we do not have any way by which we can calculate the exact value of imports and exports in the given years, because here it is given that volume of imports of goods and services percentage change. This is percentage change over the previous year, but we do not know it is what percent of the GDP. So verifying first statement is not possible on the basis of the given data. Imports were more than exports in 2009. Again, to verify this fact, we need imports as well as exports in 2009 that we cannot calculate on the basis of given data. Now coming to the third statement, it is saying exports increased at faster rate than imports during the period 2005 to 2010. From the table it can be seen that export in 2005 as a percentage of change was 18.88% and in 2010 was 21.86%, and in case of imports the figures were 17.99 and 16.49. So from here it is obvious that exports grew at a faster rate compared to imports during the period 2005 to 2010. Therefore, statement 3 is correct and option C states only 3 is correct. Therefore, option C is the correct answer. In order to find the unemployed person, first of all, we need to calculate the population of country in 2006, and after that, using the unemployment rate, we can find the number of unemployed persons. So, first of all, find the total population in 2006. It will be current GDP upon per capita income. Current GDP in 2006 in term of rupees is 41,159 into 10 raised to power 9, as given figure is in billion, upon the per capita income which is 36,553.93, and this is approximately 1.125 into 10 raised to power 9. Now to find unemployed person, we have to find 8.9% of this figure. So 1.125 into 10 raised to power 9 into 8.9 upon 100. This comes out to be approximately 100.2 into 10 raised to power 6, which is 100.2 million. Therefore, option B is the correct answer.